What's up, guys? Making a video for T-Mon's one. Hope you're doing alright, buddy, and the chemo is not too rough on you. Asked him if he wanted to see anything, maybe pass the time with a video. And he said he just got a double stuff. And hang on, I'm trying to adjust the brightness. Shutter speed. And ISO, bump the ISO down, bump the ISO up, increase the shutter speed. That's good. Sorry, I was thinking out loud. He got a double stuff, wants to see what the stone can do. Pretty much just the stone, no other implement. So I figured I would do that in this video. This is the OD one I sharpened last night with a freehand kit. It's sharp, so I'm just going to go ahead and dull it, simulate some use. And the edge is reflecting light totally. Let's go ahead and do it right, make it super dull. Oh yeah. That's good and dull. We can get it duller though. Hopefully I didn't dull it too much to bring it back. Yeah, that's butter knife quality right there. Alright, so let's see what the double stuff alone can do. This is going to be hard to do because it's a weird camera angle. I'm coming in from behind the camera. I'm actually going to be sharpening through the lens or through the camera. So bear with me if it's not an excellent result, but it should demonstrate what the double stuff can do. We demonstrated that it's dull as a butter knife. God, I'm so pink. I really need to fix that. Dull as a butter knife. Could do it so hard it actually leaves my skin white. So let's get to sharpening it. You're not going to really want to match your bevel with a stone this small. Where you're going to be using this is when you need an edge now. So you can go ahead and increase the angle and put a micro bevel on with this stone. It doesn't have to be a super steep micro bevel. It can just be anything above the angle that your bevel is set at. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of a micro bevel here. Go ahead and check for a burr, which we do have along the entire edge, and that's why you want to do it on as a micro bevel, because it'll let you raise a burr a whole lot faster. A whole lot faster. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's my thumbnail catching on the burr. So we have a burr we sharpened on this side, we have a burr on this side now, so now I need to flip over, do the same thing, set our micro bevel on this side and form a burr on the opposite side of the blade. Oh, that Sharpie, I never wiped it off. Again, it'll go pretty fast since we're using an angle that's higher than the angle that the bevel was set at initially. I'm going to guess I sharpened this knife somewhere around 35 degrees inclusive, and I'm probably sharpening right now somewhere around 45. So it's going to form a burr fairly fast. Now I do have a burr on the whole length of the edge on the opposite side, so now we're just going to do a couple passes to deburr the knife and get the edge as clean as possible before moving on to the next grit. And there we go, and it should be fairly sharp right now, which we'll see. And it is. It's really sharp. You could probably stop right here, honestly, but we always want to go and get it as sharp as possible. Go the extra step. So we're going to switch to the white side, and since we have our bevel set pretty well already, it's already really sharp. We don't need to do very much pressure. You really don't want to use much pressure on the ceramic, period. Really any sharpening implement, you don't want to use a whole lot of pressure. But since we're already pretty well along in putting our edge on, it's pretty refined right now, we're going to do super light strokes on this, and pretty much going to alternate each time. I may do 2 or 3 strokes on one side super light, and then 2 or 3, and then alternate after that. But you're just going to want to finish that edge out and do it with as light of a touch as possible, because that's going to get you the sharpest edge. So I'm going to go ahead and treat the edge on this side, and again, I'm using like just not even the weight of the blade. I'm just letting the blade barely skate across the ceramic. And again, we're going to want to use higher angle. You don't have to use a higher angle than what you sharpen on the brown side. Just try and match that angle. But use extremely light pressure. It does not take long on this stone. The ceramics are very fine, but they actually cut fairly fast as long as they're clean. And again, this is extremely awkward the way I'm doing this. And on your last couple passes, you can raise the angle even more, and that will ensure that you get any residual burr that you have off the edge. So let's see what we have now. We have a really clean edge, but I feel just a little bit of a burr. I'm going to try and get down here and clean this off. Again, I'm using extremely light pressure. Extremely light pressure. Right now I'm just doing damage control, trying to get the burr off. And if you don't have any other sharpening implement, you can actually use the skin of your palm to strop your edge. Just like this, use a fair amount of pressure. Your skin is actually tacky enough that it will break off a little burr if it's there and it's hanging on desperately. This will kind of help break it off. Just make sure you don't cut yourself. Alright, now let's see what we have. Oh yeah, much cleaner. A whole lot cleaner. See what kind of... When you can cut slowly like that, it's a good sign that you have a really clean edge. See if we can do an S cut in phone book paper. I could if it wasn't for this angle. Anyway, the edge is back to way beyond working sharp. I mean, you wouldn't need an edge much sharper than this to do anything. You may not want to shave your face with an edge like this, because it is just a little bit rougher than if you had went through the process cleanly and stropped. But it is just as refined as, probably more refined than most people ever have a knife. I mean, this is much sharper than a factory edge, much sharper than a lot of systems can give, and it's just a few minutes on this stone. The Double Stuff is a really, really good stone. I've carried one literally every day, everywhere I go, for the past few months. So it is a great little stone and can give you great results with minimal practice. Pretty much anybody can do what I just did. If you can color in between the lines of a coloring book, then you can definitely do what I just did. So I'll actually try and see if it will. I highly doubt it will, but it may whittle a hair. Oh, yeah, I pulled out more than I wanted to. Let's see if it'll whittle a hair. No, it doesn't appear to be quite hair whittling sharp, which is pretty much to be expected because it was really damaged when I started doing this. I damaged the edge pretty badly. But anyway, regardless, T-Mons, this is a sharp edge, a really sharp edge. And if you just needed to do some cutting, then an edge like this would definitely serve that purpose because it's sharp, as you guys can see. Anyway, T-Mons, I hope that's at least a few minutes of entertainment and maybe had something in there that was educational. If any of you guys want to see anything else done with this, let me know, because it's a pretty versatile stone. This was just one scenario. You've been cutting, you killed a lot of cardboard or cut some rope or something and your edge is dull and you need a quick edge back that's really sharp. I mean, if it slices phone book paper, that's sharp, but you really can't feel just how sharp this edge is and how much bite it has. It's really sharp. Let's see what we can do. Oh, I don't want to do this. So, definitely hair shaving sharp. Doesn't have to be all that sharp to shave hair. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any more questions about the double stuff or sharpening, let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.